Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to do an unboxing, review, and installation of Google's new Google Wi-Fi home Wi-Fi system. Let's check it out. Now, this isn't the first time that Google has released a router or a Wi-Fi product. This is actually now going on to their third time because they released two other products. You have the OnHub, and it came in two versions. And now this is the third product, but this product is very different from the OnHub in the sense that these pods, and you'll notice that there are three, are to extend coverage in a home that suffers from wireless coverage. Now, this is using a technology called mesh technology. And to put it real simple, mesh technology allows you to cover a greater distance within your home where there's some dead zones. It could be because of the physical structure of your home, or it could be the distance. This one is theoretically supposed to cover up to 5,000 square feet. And the way it works is that one of these serve as a hub, the main hub, and then what ends up happening is it kind of communicates with each one of these. It's almost like a piggyback type system. So this one talks to this one talks to this one, and then vice versa. And what they do is that they extend or mesh a network throughout your house because they have the ability to connect with each other. But one of them is going to be connected to your internet service provider. This one, all you'll need to do is power it up, so you won't need Ethernet. You won't have to create a wireless connection outside of connecting it to each other. Now, this is very different than the extenders that we reviewed on the channel. In many cases, extenders are going to reduce your Wi-Fi speed almost up to 50%. So this overcomes that. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what do I do with the Google OnHub if I have one at home? Well, the answer is really nothing, because these are now designed to work with your OnHub. So if your OnHub is the base, or you have an OnHub somewhere else in your home, this will connect and leverage the OnHub for that mesh technology. So literally, they sell one of these by itself, or you could get the three. If you just get the one with your OnHub, you may be able to extend and create a mesh network at home. Or you could get the 3-pack and included with your OnHub. Now you have 4 meshable devices. So let's go ahead, unbox it, see what's inside, and we'll go through the setup process. So now let's take a look at some of the details here before we do the unboxing. First of all, one of the things I wanted to mention is that unlike, let's say, some of the other apps or routers that we've looked at where there is a web URL that you go to administer the router, with this solution you're going to be downloading an app, and you'll notice that it is available both for iOS and for Android. And what you're going to do is, again, get one will give you anywhere from 5 to 1,500 feet. The next one will be 1,500 to 3,000 square feet, and then the last one, when you have 3 of them, it will be 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. So this is going to be a mesh that's going to keep your home covered. And the neat thing is, during the implementation, it's going to tell you when you're walking with your phone. Once you implement one router, the main one, it's going to tell you what's the optimal position for the next one. So there's no guesswork there. Now over here, we'll look at some of the specs and make sure that that's visible right there. So you have 3 AC 1200 routers, 2x2 Wave 2 Wi-Fi, expandable mesh Wi-Fi, as you see here, simultaneously dual band Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz and also 5, and then a lot of other information with Bluetooth ready, 2 gigabit Ethernet connections, and then the kind of security you can support. Now, the neat thing about this technology, according to the review so far, is that unlike some other technologies where there's a slowdown, as I mentioned, you're not going to see that with this. So let's finish the unboxing. Now, the unboxing for this one is going to be pretty simple. So we'll just open this up right here, and this is what the Google Wi-Fi solution looks like. So see, it's like a puck. And then on the bottom here, you'll see your Wi-Fi connections, or not your Wi-Fi, your Ethernet connections, power connections, as well as some additional connections right there. Let's flip this over so we can see everything. So you can see right there also information about help, where you can get some assistance, and also a phone number. But there you have your connections. Everything looks pretty straightforward. So you have your connectivity and then your power. And again, in this case, I have 3, so all 3 of them are going to work and provide theoretically more coverage in my home. Now, if we move this out of the way, we'll see what we have here. It looks like each one of these comes with its own power. So here you have power. You can see that, and it's USB-C type power adapters. And it looks like we're going to have the same thing here. Yeah, so each one of these is the USB-C type adapter. And it looks like this one, though, has Yeah, this one has some instructions on top of it. So we'll just throw this in here since it's exactly the same. And this is going to give you the details of what you have to do to get started. So it doesn't look like it's two-piece, it's just a one-piece. Pretty much you just connect it. You then go to your Google Wi-Fi application, and then we'll set it up. So let's go ahead and do that. Now the next step, I've already connected it to my home router. It's lit up in blue and it's kind of breathing. It has kind of like a breathing thing going on right now. And what I'm now going to do is just take this application, which I just installed, Google Wi-Fi, and launch it. Now the process is pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and hit Get Started. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new network. I already have the OnHub one, but I'm going to convert that one, so I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to hit Next. And now it's looking for my device. It's trying to see if it could find it throughout the house. I'm in a quad, so the actual Google Wi-Fi is downstairs. So I'm going to go ahead and scan it because it's asking me to do that. Now on the bottom of your each one of the Google Wi-Fi pucks, you'll notice that there's a QR code. That's what it's looking for. Now you can scan the QR code or you can put in the code manually. Now once you've inputted the code or scanned the QR, it's going to go through and it's going to go through the preparation. So now here it's starting the process and it's asking me where do I want to identify as this being. In this case this is in my basement, so I'm going to choose basement. The next thing I'll do is hit Next. And now I'm going to name the Wi-Fi access point. The next step is to put in your Wi-Fi password. Now once you put in your Wi-Fi password, you're going to see this kind of effect taking place. So it's creating that Wi-Fi network. Now it's going to connect me. And it's completing my registration. Now one thing to understand is that this is going to be using your Google account as well. So since I had already used this app for my OnHub, it is something that was leveraging my existing account, but it's going to be tied to your Gmail account. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is it's going to ask me how many access points do I have. So I actually have, I'm going to say 3 because I have an OnHub. So I'm going to go with 2 and maybe add 1 later. So now it's activating the mesh network. Now additional points work best if they're no more than 2 rooms away. So now we're going to go through that process. So I have one right here on the side and I'm going to be connecting this one. So I'm going to hit Next. And now it's going to say plug in once you find a good spot. So let's go ahead and do that. So my next access point, I put it down, or Wi-Fi point in the kitchen. So I'm going to call that kitchen and hit Next. And now it's looking for the device. It's connecting. It'll probably go through the same design that it did earlier. And it looks like it's almost done. There it goes. Now you'll notice right here the next step is to test the access point or the Wi-Fi point. So we're going to go ahead and hit the test. And this only happened when I added a second Wi-Fi point. So it's looking at the performance between the two. Now once everything looks good, it says everything looks good, this Wi-Fi point is ready to go, so we're going to hit Next. And now it looks like it's activating it. And now I have my last Wi-Fi point, and I am going to place this one here so you can see the process. And you can see how it lights up. So let's go ahead and plug this one in. So once you plug in the last point, what you'll notice is that it has this kind of like glowing ring around it as it's just powering up and doing its thing. All I did is I plugged it here on the very bottom. Now before we finalize this setup, one of the things I wanted to highlight that I find probably a disadvantage is that there's no way to mount this on a wall. There are no hooks. There's nothing that you can nail. All you have are the connections here. Again, this is your Wi-Fi, and this is if you want to connect another port to. So also, unlike traditional routers where you may have 4 or 5 ports, this one only has one extra one. So this is your source, and then this is the other one. So I found that that's a little odd. So now that we have this one going, and you'll be able to see what's happening, we're going to hit next. We've plugged in that next point. And this one I'm going to call office. Let's see if there's an office there. There it is. And I'll hit next. And now we'll see what happens as it communicates with this. It's going through the setup process. I'll put this at an angle so you guys don't get any glare. Picking that up. Doesn't look like any colors are changing. Still blue. And it's connected. It's going to complete the registration, and we'll probably end up testing this one as well. Now, what we'll do is we'll do a speed test. I get like 175 downloads in my home, and I have an ASUS router. It's not a mesh router. Oh, there you go. Color change to like a teal or a light blue. Now it's going white, so it looks like it's doing something. So, you know, the test is going to be, will I get the same kind of performance? I have an AC3100, which is a 4,500 square foot router. I've reviewed it here on the channel. It does really, really well, and it covers a lot of area. So we're going to see how this one does now. So we're going to hit the test. And it's going through the test. And we'll see. So you notice that it's kind of breathing a little bit. See that? Pulsing. So it looks like it is getting tested. And we'll see what it does. There you go. Everything looks good. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll hit next. And everything is established. So now I'm going to blur out some of these things because it has some personal information. But what you'll see on the bottom here, I'll blur out the top because it has my Wi-Fi password as well as my Wi-Fi name. But you do get to see the name of each location and where each access point is, and then I can add another one if I wanted to. So I'm going to hit next. And now it looks like it's installing some type of software update onto the devices. We'll put this right here for a second, and we'll see if there's any color changing going on. Doesn't look like there is. All right, so we're going to let it run, and it looks like there's an update, and then we'll come back to it. All right, now the setup is complete, so we're going to hit explore, so everything has been updated. And then again, it's giving you all this information about the mesh system. So let's show you what you see here. Google Wi-Fi information. Everything looks good with my access point. Learn more. Some family Wi-Fi settings. So here you can actually set restrictions for, you know, turning off the Wi-Fi or pausing Wi-Fi just to get people out together. And it looks like that's it. Let's take a look at what we have here. So here we have everything that's connected. Oh, let's switch because we're on the wrong one. Let's go. Here we go. All right, so let's start this again. So here we can see my internet connection, my 3 access points, and we see that I have 0 devices connected at this time. What I'll do over here is let's see if we have any kind of speed test that we can go through. So here you have a network check. You can test the internet. So go ahead and test the internet. It's testing the download speed. And as I had mentioned, I typically get like 175 on mine. So we'll see how this is doing now. Now it's testing the upload. And we'll let it finish this up. Okay, so normally I get 175. I'm getting 136. All right, that's not bad, but it's definitely not performing at the speed that I typically have. So that's interesting. Now, one of the things I'll mention is that the router itself there's no distinction between a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz band. It does have both, but you don't get to name them individually and then choose which one you're connected to. It kind of does that automatically. So I know that when I'm connected to my 5G, I get faster speed, so I don't know what I'm connected to. But still, that's a respectable speed, especially if I can get 136 consistently throughout the house. Fast, what we can do is let's look at the mesh network. Now, this is going to be really cool because I just place things around my house. And remember, the better the better connection they have between each other, the more solid your network is going to be as a whole. So what I'm doing now is just taking a look and see if the mesh network components, the 3 routers that I have, are well positioned. And it should give me some feedback on that in just a second. And it will also give me the opportunity to fix it if I need to. So let's see what it tells us. Okay, so it says the kitchen is fair, my office is great. So it looks like I need to maybe move this access point closer. All right, and then the last test that we'll do is we'll test this device. So we're going to let it go through the test. And we'll see what it does. It says the test is complete, and it says that it's good. All right, so those are the tests that we can see. Now, what you can also do is you can set a priority device. So here's a list of all my devices, and I can choose which one is priority. So that's especially if my kids are on the network and I want to make sure that I get the most. Show my password. There's more actions available here. Let's go ahead. And it looks like I have to set something up first. So it says when you set up a new feature like family, Wi-Fi, related actions, you'll be able to see them there. All right, so let's keep on going down here. Network settings. So here you have the ability to look at the network, the guest network, and set one up. Wi-Fi access points. So here you can see if they're all up to date when it comes to the right software, the name and the location. You can add one. Home control. So it looks like I can have some of the Google products that I can control here as well. Managers that I have, if there are any managers, and then any kind of app support, email notifications as well. So let's check out what email notifications is. So, announcing offers, and what I've noticed is with my OnHub, if I have any kind of network disruption, it just tells me. Let's look at advanced networking for a second. So let's go into this now. Advanced networking. So here you can make some changes. So right now my DNS is automatic. When is DHCP and what's the protocols it's supporting, DHCP IP reservations if there's any, port forwarding, network mode, NAT, and let's see, is there anything else I can do in here? Yeah, so NAT, bridge, or kitchen, or bridge mode. Okay, so that's good. Let's see, is there anything else that we see there? Oh, no, nothing there. All right, so we saw settings. You could set up family Wi-Fi, so you can disable the internet. All right, so that's something that if you're into, you can do. Set up your guest Wi-Fi, and then again your home control. That's if you want to add any devices there. I'm sure like your thermostat, any lights and stuff. In this area, you just have the kind of map telling you that how many devices are connected and how many access points, and then here is just some additional information. Now on this side here, you're going to see your Wi-Fi setup, and you could actually get in contact with Wi-Fi care support if you wanted. I have 2 that are right here. So what I'm going to do is now switch to my other hub, and I'm going to join it to this one as a access point or Wi-Fi point. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just run a speed test. Now that we got everything configured, we're going to try to see what kind of performance we're going to get and how it compares to my basic performance. So I'm going to choose begin test, and we're just going to let a standard speed test run. Now, I do have a Netgear router that I'm going to be testing against, and I just wanted to do that comparison to see how does one perform versus the other. So here you can see the kind of speed that we're getting out of the mesh. This is the mesh network, and it's performing pretty well. Now we're going to test the upload. So we have 86 download, 23 upload, and this was with the Google Wi-Fi. Let's now test the basic Wi-Fi solution that I have, which is a Netgear router. All right, so this is the Netgear router test. And I'm pretty far away from the router, just for those of you who are concerned about that. I am around 2 floors away from where the router is. So we're going to see how they perform. And as you can see here, performance is pretty close. Now I do have one of the mesh points that is about 30 feet from where I am. That's the only difference. So 77.14, so you can see that the Google Wi-Fi is actually at an advantage at this point. And there you have it. So this concludes my review and installation of the Google Wi-Fi system. If you have any comments or questions about this video, leave it in the comment area below. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.